Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. In today's Pick a Card reading, we are looking at the next 6 months. Once you choose your card, you can find the timestamps below, which will take you directly to your reading. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is also linked below. Please remember that is the only way to book any of my services with me. If anyone reaches out to you, just know that that is not me. All right, we are looking at the next 6 months. Can we have a card for pile number 1, please? Can we have a card for pile number 2, please? Can we have a card for pile number 3? Pile number 1, you have fish, and you also have the Prehnite. Pile number 2, you have bear, and you also have the Cinnabrite crystal. Pile number 3, you have beaver, and you have the Confetti Sunstone. Please take as long as you need choosing your card or cards, and I'll see you in your readings. Hello, pile number 1. You have the Prehnite crystal, and your card is the fish. So I'm feeling like over the next 6 months, there's a lot of emotions around things that you're doing. I feel like you're pursuing things that make you happy. This might be a very creative time for you. I'm feeling like this is a very productive time. It feels like there's like healing, growth, renewal, just kind of like a lot of ideas that you have, things that you want to do. Spirit does say that this is a very good time for you to listen to your intuition and to follow your intuition. Spirit also says that during the next 6 months, you could be receiving messages about something coming up or a new opportunity or something like that. So this could be, depending on what your particular situation is, because this is a general reading, this could be getting a literal phone call, text message, email, conversation with somebody, or this could be messages from spirit, from the universe, from someone who's passed over, helping to guide you on a new path or a new idea that you may have, or in continuation of a current idea or path that you're on. Something like that. And yeah, with this, there could be a new opportunity waiting for you over this next 6 months, because I'm really feeling like there's something that's kind of transforming in your life, or something that's growing in your life. You could be working on something, trying to get something off the ground or make changes in your life. Because I feel for some of you, you're kind of changing direction. You're going more into a direction or a path where you feel more comfortable, where you have more fun or enjoy more what you're doing or the people you're around, something like that. And I feel there's also something connected to this with overcoming fears and kind of like taking a deep dive into, what is your direction? Where are you supposed to be right now in your life? And do you want to change where you're going, or do you want to change who you are? You know what I mean? I just feel like there's some kind of change that might be happening for you, or that you're starting to think about a future goal that you have in pursuing those goals. Yeah, and so that is exactly why Spirit says, be on the lookout for messages, signs, synchronicities, or that you're going to get some sort of communication regarding something that you've been wanting, or something that's going to kind of put an idea in your brain about, oh, you know, that's a good idea, I should do that. So yeah, some interesting things coming up for you. Let's go ahead and look at your other oracle cards. Okay, what else can you tell us? For pile number 1, please, we're looking at the next 6 months. That card, let's see, what else do you want to tell us? Next 6 months. Okay. So we have number 24, and love where you are. Use your sensitivity to know when to act. Connect to your heart. See, that's what I told you. To your head when determining what you would like. So connect to your heart and your head when determining what you would like. So listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. Okay. And, you know, use your sensitivity to know when to act. That's what I was feeling when I was talking about a message, a sign, synchronicities, or someone. It could be a literal phone call, email, you know, some kind of communication with someone else. So, and it could be both of those together. So let's say that you get an offer, or you hear something from someone via, you know, letter, mail, phone call, text message. When that happens, listen to your intuition, because your intuition is going to tell you a lot about particular opportunities, or, you know, partnerships, or something like that. If there's an offer or whatever this communication is, your intuition is going to help to guide you. And also, love where you are. That's kind of what I was saying. Some of you may be looking for greater meaning, or something along the lines of, you know, feeling more comfortable somewhere. Some of you may be getting over a fear to try something new, or to change your direction. Remember I mentioned that? So it seems like there's potential for you over the next 6 months of a change in direction, or setting your fears aside and going after a goal or an idea that you have, and you know, making some pretty big strides toward that goal. And then we have number 3, in the light of the moon. A full moon can shine light on what you have been resisting. This can be anything. This can be anything from your fears to your soul's beauty. Very interesting, because first of all, I mentioned fears, didn't I? And then shining light on things. So remember I told you, listen to your intuition. So we see that here. Is there something that you've been resisting? And go more with the flow. Okay, so if you've been resisting an idea, or kind of like a pull in a certain direction, maybe you have a fear about listening to your intuition and pursuing this idea, this path, something like that. Spirit says that you don't need to resist that. You can let go of your fears. You can accomplish this. You can go forward with it anyway, right? And so it definitely seems like there's something about messages, you getting signs or something like that, that's coming through very, very clearly for you over the next 6 months. And also, how do you feel about things? How do you feel about where you are right now? And how do you feel about where you could be? You know, how do you, processing your emotions, and then processing where you are based on those emotions, and where you want to be based on those emotions, or, you know, something like that. You know, you have the fish here, so it's definitely, it seems like emotions, and it almost seems like you're going to become more sensitive to emotions. Did we have that anywhere here? Yeah, use your sensitivity to know when to act. Okay, where if things are starting to feel more difficult, or you're feeling like now is the time to do something, to take action on something, listen to that. Because if you are meant to start something new, if you're meant to move on from a situation or, person, place, or thing, sometimes the universe will make it feel more and more and more uncomfortable and more difficult, because it's time for you to move on, and the universe is trying to gently nudge you out the door. Okay, so I see some of you becoming really, really sensitive to energies around you, and that would also be a sign of, it's time to move along. So just keep that in mind as you go through these next 6 months. What else can you tell us for pile number 1, please? Okay, we have, and you know what? Okay, let's see. Oh, this is interesting. So you have the Judge with Poetic Justice. This is very interesting because this corresponds to the Judgment card. I'm sorry, not the Judgment card, the Justice card. But you know what? Because I said the Judgment and I meant justice, like I had my words tangled together. I think that Judgment is also very important here, because just how that happened, it actually makes a lot of sense. So let's start with the Judgment here, and Judgment as far as the tarot card goes. And obviously this is not the Judgment card, but let's go with it because I said it. So it seems like there's some kind of great awakening that you may be going through over the next 6 months, which makes sense because I was talking about how you could be getting more sensitive to people, places, and things. You might not feel like you belong somewhere anymore, and you may be going through a period of kind of like confusion or soul searching, or maybe just a burst of creativity, which is kind of unleashing this whole new world for you. So it seems like something's happening, which is pretty significant over the next 6 months for you, which is going to kind of wake you up to where you want to be and where you might want to go. Okay. Now, along with that, going into this card, I'm feeling that you could be weighing your options. You could be looking at possible different directions. And I feel that there's something that could be going on where you could possibly be investing in your future and really setting your sights on a goal or, something like that. A couple other things. I'm seeing that you may be cutting certain things out of your life, certain people, places, or things that are no longer in alignment with you and your energy. They're making you feel off balance. And so, again, I think earlier I mentioned there could be like a sense of healing, things like that. And I'm seeing that here where there's a sense of healing, a sense of balance, things really shifting for you over the next 6 months. I'm going to move these over a little bit because the next 2 cards really caught my attention. So we're going to take those and let's see what we have. We have Mother of Earth with Fertile Ground. So, it's your feeling more grounded, or you will be feeling more grounded. I just get this feeling like, so there's creativity, there's new ideas, and it's like pursuing those things. You're feeling more comfortable because a lot of you are not feeling comfortable where you are, and you want to make some changes. So this could mean that you're going to move somewhere. You could be looking for a new job. You could be transitioning into a new career or wanting to do that. You could be doing research into these things. How do I make this happen? Some of you might be going through financial difficulties right now. And what I'm seeing with this card is, look at the coins here. Do you see the coins there and down here? And obviously she's holding the coin here. So finances could definitely be increasing for you over the next 6 months. There could be an idea that you have that's going to bring in more finances, and it could be you're getting like a raise, a promotion. something like that. It seems like some of you are going after a dream that you have or a vision that you have, and it really has the potential to start something that will grow and grow and grow and provide for you in the future. And then we have creature of fire, choose freedom. This is so interesting. Choose freedom. And the fish is representing freedom to me here. So choose freedom over what? Okay, choose freedom over your fears. Choose freedom over any uncomfortable people, places, or things that are affecting your life. Choosing freedom to go after your heart, pursue something that's in your heart. Because remember, we're talking about emotions, we're talking about intuition, we're talking about dreams and love and, these kinds of things. So what is it that you love? What is it that you want to go after? And do it, so it seems like there's a great sense of freedom from restriction going on for you over the next 6 months, especially because you have the fish here where there's freedom of movement and feeling comfortable. Feeling comfortable again, feeling renewed, refreshed, all of those things. Now let's get into your tarot cards. All right, what else can you tell us for pile number 1, please? Pile number 1. Wow, you have the Justice card. So, number 11, you have the Justice card here. Let me set these down so I can take a. That card really wants to come out. I'm so curious what it is. Okay, let's see here. We have the Justice card. This is interesting because as I look at this card, it's making me think of the Judgment card, which I slipped and said that, this, like, it must have been like a Freudian slip when I said the Judgment card with this card. And for some reason, I'm seeing that same energy here where it's kind of like you are overcoming certain things in your life. You're gaining power over certain things that were making you feel uncomfortable. You're getting the signs, you're seeing what's really going on. You're seeing things for what they really are, and you're no longer accepting things that don't line up with who you are, your worth, where you want to go, how you see yourself, how you envision your future, things like that. So I feel like you're really gaining control over your life and over things that maybe once had control over you, or, hopefully this is resonating with you because it could mean a whole, bunch of different things depending on who's watching this and what your particular situation is. But it's almost like you're standing up for yourself to other people, places, and things, but you're also standing up for yourself with yourself. And you're saying, you know what, I deserve more, I want more, and I'm going to go get it. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing here. And there's such potential for growth here. If you look down here and you see all the greenery and the flowers blossoming, and you see this Lady Justice here is in control. It is not letting anything affect the balance. Okay, what is this? Ooh, so this is the Emperor. Isn't this interesting how it kept like sliding off the deck? And I watched for a minute. I thought maybe it was going to slide all the way off. But yeah, this makes so much sense. You're getting your power back. You have control. You're building something. You're wanting to see a change in your life. And I feel that you're coming in your power. You're feeling more empowered to create these changes in your life. I don't know what it's like, can you see this here? It's like a light bulb went off for you. And you see the staff, and then there's the light right here. It's like something just triggered something in you, and it, kind of like you woke up one day, something happened, and you're like, okay, that's it, I'm done. I'm going to make changes in my life. I don't want to deal with something that's not making me feel, good or empowered or whatever it is. So yeah, I feel like you're in development with something. Like in your mind, you're creating a vision, you're creating plans, and it seems like you're quite the force to be reckoned with during this time, where it's like, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. We have the Six of Cups. So with the Six of Cups, I feel, I just again had that flash of like, I don't want to do this anymore. Or there seems to be some kind of flash of something that's happening where it's a flash of insight. Somebody says something. So let's say maybe this is just an example to give you an idea of like what I'm seeing in my mind and the energy behind it. Let's say, for instance, that you have a job and, it's okay. You're not excited to go there every morning, but, you get by, the money's okay, and, you're doing all right. But at the same time, you're feeling kind of like this anxiousness or something where it's like, you can't quite put your finger on it, but you're like, I don't know, I just feel a little off. And then you go to work that day and your boss, your boss is okay, but this day your boss is in a really bad mood and kind of snaps at you, which then triggers that snapping that I keep seeing with you. And then you're like, ugh, I don't want to be here anymore. Just like that, overnight, everything changed for you. It's like, no, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't belong here anymore. I'm going to make some changes in my life. So that's kind of like the scenario that I'm seeing, where all of a sudden you feel like you want something different than what you currently have. And it could be a resurgence of something that you thought about before, okay? Or it could be bringing in like a feeling of, like, I've always wanted to feel this certain way. Like, let's say you've always wanted to feel financially secure, and right now you're feeling financially okay, but you want to feel financially secure. And that's always been something that you've had, like, in your life, but you've always just kind of pushed it away because you've always gotten by. So it could be sparking you to go on some kind of journey of change and pursuing something, or going in a direction that you were always meant to go in. The Six of Wands. So there's a couple things here with the Six of Wands. First of all, Spirit is saying that you will accomplish a lot over the next 6 months. And Spirit is saying, it's up to you what you want to accomplish, because it has everything to do with your drive, your goals, and putting yourself out there and making it happen. The Spirit says you can absolutely make it happen. And I do see that you're going to accomplish something pretty significant, something that you can celebrate over the next 6 months. And it has something to do with, these emotions that you're feeling, wanting to feel more comfortable. And so I see you taking steps toward that goal. Okay, so there is some level of success here. And I feel that you could be saying goodbye to certain people, places, or things, or thoughts that you've had, or anything that was holding you back before. It's like you're leaving something behind and you're moving forward. Yeah, this exactly. So you have the Death card here. You're leaving something behind and you're moving forward. That's literally the Death card. It seems like over the next 6 months, there's a transition for you, right? Some kind of life-changing transition. It's like you like, how something wasn't working for you. And it seems like for some of you, you didn't realize that it wasn't really working for you until one day it really wasn't working for you. It was like so obvious that it wasn't working for you. And then you kind of woke up and said, wait a minute, why have I been here so long? What am I doing here? So for some of you, this could be kind of a bittersweet time where, you know, saying goodbye to people, places, or things that you once loved, that you once resonated with. It could be bittersweet to say goodbye to these things and to move on from them. But at the same time, it's very empowering for you. And it's also going to be very, very empowering for you once you actually take these steps toward whatever it is that this vision that you have, and break free from your fears, break free from anything that was holding you back or controlling you, or, you know, whatever it was. Or maybe it was just, you didn't realize that you were in a place of like complacency or stagnancy. And now that you've realized it, you can't unsee it, right? And so it'll be very empowering once you realize that, and then you do move on. And, you know, for some of you, it could be that you've been trying to make something happen and you've been working so hard and you haven't seen much progress. Which is that uncomfortable feeling that I was talking about. And if that's the case for you, what I'm seeing is a big, huge, massive breakthrough. Huge breakthrough. See, you have freedom here. You have fertile ground. You have the Justice card, and I kept seeing the Judgment card, right? The Emperor. There's a breakthrough at hand for you, no matter how it comes into your life. The Nine of Swords. So this is a card about fear, having a great fear about something, but this card means that fear is not coming to fruition. It was just a fear. And so you're breaking through boundaries. You're breaking through your fears. You're not letting your fears control you anymore. Or, like I just said, some of you may have been working on something for a while now and you haven't gotten that big break yet. You haven't been able to break through something. And you may have had a fear that you made the wrong decision or that it's not going to work out for you. But Spirit is saying it's just a fear. This is not going to come to fruition. Okay? What is going to come to fruition is a victory. The High Priestess, exactly. This makes so much sense. Remember, I told you from the very, very beginning, there's some kind of communication, whether it's communicating with yourself. Okay, so your intuition really, really standing out for you, or having a conversation with yourself in the sense of saying, I don't want to be where I am anymore. Let me figure things out and move on. Or you're getting some kind of communication from someone else in the form of letter, email, conversation, speaking to each other directly, something like that. Another thing I'm seeing with the High Priestess is that things are coming to light. You're getting the answers that you've needed. So for some of you, like I said in the scenario where maybe you've been working on something for a while and you have not seen any movement, you haven't seen a breakthrough with that, you're going to get that breakthrough here, okay? Whatever was lacking, whatever was missing is coming to light over these next 6 months. So absolutely listen to your intuition. Even if you overhear a conversation, let's say you're at a restaurant and you overhear the people next to you talking about something, and you could get a flash of inspiration from their conversation. So anything like that, listen to it. If somebody says something to you that's very striking, listen to it, because it's going to have significance. Yeah, look, now you have the Hangman. So this is what I'm saying. There was a sense of stagnancy, or there was a sense of waiting for something, especially because for me personally with the High Priestess, a lot of times there's a delay, something that's taking a little while to get here, okay? And then you have the Hangman, which is also a slowing down, or coming out of a period of slowing down. You're figuring things out, you're getting insight, you're being enlightened by something, which I've talked about earlier in your reading. And so with the Hangman, you're directly in the path of transformation based on this new insight that you're getting from wherever it's coming from. That insight is the communication that I was talking about with the fish card. And remember, I told you there's something about your heart, following your heart, listening to how you feel, okay? Pursuing a dream or a goal, whatever it is. And look here. So the light here is around the heart chakra. With the Hangman card, that light is usually around, you know, the third eye, the crown chakra, or you know, the eighth chakra just above the body, just above the head. So there's something happening here with enlightenment and you getting insight. The Six of Swords. Your cards are just flowing, just really, really painting this beautiful picture for what is happening for you. And this is a very interesting Six of Swords. Can you see this here? So there's actually hands down here holding these swords, okay? So I feel that it's like a new idea is coming to light. Something is making sense to you. Something like there's a shift in the air, and there's actually a person in here, if you can see him laying down there. So it's almost like you're becoming a whole new person. You're starting a new journey. Remember I said it could be bittersweet because it's kind of like you're saying goodbye to a person, place, or thing. Maybe you're saying goodbye to the way you used to live your life. But there's definitely huge transformation. And it's literally like you're going on a journey. It could be a journey of the soul. It could be a journey, like literal journey to a new place where you're going to live. It could be a journey to a new job or career, new friends, you know, whatever it is. There's definitely a spiritual journey, but it could also be a literal journey. The Eight of Swords, you are no longer held back. That's how I'm going to put it. Over these next I can't even talk, sorry. Over these next 6 months, you are no longer in a place of restraint. You're no longer in a place of waiting. You're no longer in a place of transformation. You are going through this transformation. Okay. This is a very interesting Eight of Swords because typically the Eight of Swords, the person is stuck on the ground or stuck somewhere, or they think they're stuck, right? Look at this person. There's wings here, and also your intuition. Look at the owl up here. So definitely listen to your intuition. Again, I'm getting something about messages. So it could be a literal message from someone. It could be a message from spirit, the universe, your intuition, your gut instinct. You are being freed from something that used to hold you back over the next 6 months. And look at this. I love this. So you have the Eight of Swords here and the Six of Wands here. So the Six of Wands is movement. It's like you've reached a goal. You have accomplished something. And then the Eight of Swords, you're being freed from something. I mean, look at this. The Six of Swords, Eight of Swords, and Six of Wands. There's something huge that's happening for you over the next 6 months. We have the Lover's card. Yeah, so with the Lover's card, this Lover's card in particular, it seems like there was something holding you back. It was like a fear that was holding you back, because if you see here, this person here has this little sword, knife, whatever it is here. There was something about your thought process or something where like you felt like you maybe were sacrificing something. Something wasn't completely lining up in your life. And that is what's changing. You're coming into a period of more, it's just like growth. It's release from something that was holding you back from where you're supposed to be. And you are, again, I feel like you're leaving certain things behind. It's bittersweet. You're thinking about things, you're contemplating what it is that you truly want, and then you're pursuing it. And I feel there's also a sense of strength that's coming in here where you're not afraid to tell people what you want or what you deserve. And you're also not afraid to have that conversation with yourself. It's like, okay, I'm no longer going to be in a place or position where I don't feel comfortable, or where I don't feel worthy, or where I don't feel like I'm living to my highest potential. Okay. You're going to be moving forward. Let's see what your last card is. The Four of Cups. Yes, this is very interesting. So, especially because you have the Hangman here. So I feel for you over the next 6 months, this kind of summarizes everything that I've said so far. So remember how in the beginning with your fish card here, and also this one, what was it? Use your sensitivity to know when to act. That's what we're seeing here, and we're seeing it with the Hangman. I see you being very introspective, contemplating things, thinking about things, and any opportunities that come your way, you are going to sit with them, you're going to think about them, and you're going to say, how does this make me feel? Okay? Because look at this person holding the cup here. How does this make me feel? What is my intuition telling me? You can also be doing this about where you currently are and saying, this doesn't feel right anymore. And then contemplating further and saying, what does feel right? So it's like envisioning your future and saying, okay, how does this make me feel if I'm actually doing this in the future? And if you feel like you resonate with that, then I see you moving forward with that. If you don't resonate with that, then I see you continuing to think about what it is that you want to do and where you want to go, and then taking steps forward. But I have to tell you, you're making some sort of movement forward with this new plan that you have over the next 6 months. And that is what I see for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, pile number 2. You have the Cinnabrite crystal, and your card is the Bear. The energy and what's happening over the next 6 months for you, I feel like you're overcoming some kind of challenge, or you're figuring something out. You're feeling like a sense of renewal or healing or something like that. But as you're coming out of these challenges, I feel like you're feeling stronger, and there seems to be like there's some kind of commitment that you're making to yourself, or possibly to someone else or something else. Maybe you're setting a deadline for a goal that you have or something like that. But there's movement forward, whereas before there was a lack of movement for one reason or another. I feel that you're also feeling more emotionally stable than you were before, or emotionally clear. Maybe you had to take a time out for self-care, or maybe you just needed to figure out what you want in life, or maybe figure out what you don't want in life, things like that. But there's a sense of clarity, there's a sense of strength, and kind of saying like, hey, I'm here and I'm ready to get back in the game, or I'm ready to make some progress with something. It could also be that you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, okay, with the sunshine here, and then like the bear going into hibernation. Maybe you've been working on something for a long time. Maybe you've had a goal and you haven't quite gotten to the point that you want to be with that goal. I see there's some kind of progress, like you're finally getting to the point where it's like, okay, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, and I know things are going to start to get better for me. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. It's also, I just heard like slow and steady progress. All right, let's look at your other oracle cards. All right, what else can you tell us for pile number 2, please? So we have number 11 with persistent drive. See what you desire and move toward that goal. Okay, makes sense. It is time to zero in on your purpose. Use your intuition and instincts to guide you for the optimal outcome. This makes a lot of sense to me because, you know, it's like you're coming out of a time of stillness. For some of you, it might have been stagnation. For others of you, it may have been just stillness, trying to figure things out. Maybe you just needed a break from everyone and everything because you were feeling overwhelmed. So maybe you were taking some time for self-care, and you're coming out of that time over the next 6 months. And you know, I touched on this earlier where it seems like you're making a commitment to something. You have this renewed power. And look at what you have here. So you have a bear, which is very, very powerful. And then you have sharks here, which are also very, very powerful. So there's something where you're feeling more grounded in your emotions and you're feeling more grounded in your movement. Like, where before things were slowing down, now things are picking up, okay? And also another thing I'm seeing here is over the next 6 months, I see you really getting rid of distractions, getting rid of anything that would hinder you from moving forward. So it could be, you know, friendship, romantic relationship, job, a way that you think, you know, it could be a habit, it could be really anything. So it's kind of like you're breaking free from something that may have at one point had you feeling restricted. And then we have number 3, in the light of the moon. A full moon can shine light on what you have been resisting. Remember I talked about the light at the end of the tunnel? So you're seeing things differently than you were before. You're feeling, I'm hearing like some of you are feeling inspired, but I'm also like some of you are feeling inspired, empowered. Others of you are feeling like you can finally move on from something. Some of you got closure from something that was making you feel a lack of movement, because it's like, well, I can't move forward until I get closure on this. So some of you are getting closure on something. Okay. It also says this can be anything from your fears to your soul's beauty. So whatever that resistance was, that, you know, could be described as resistance or sitting still for a minute, or, you know, whatever it was that you're coming out of, like coming out of this hibernation, coming out of this reflection, I feel like your emotions are more, you're more in tune with your emotions. You're more in tune with yourself over these next 6 months. And then you have freedom to move forward towards like a goal or something that you have your eyes on. What else can you tell us for pile number 2, please? Yeah, this makes sense. So you have Junbi with total disruption. So, and this is also number 13, which corresponds to the death card in the tarot deck. So it's like a new beginning. I feel there's some kind of new beginning for you happening over this next 6 months. And, you know, it's like you were in a period of darkness or stillness with the bear card here. And you're coming out of that more resilient, more persistent, more focused, lighter, with this renewed power. You're more grounded than you were before. And I feel you're also more receptive to what you deserve and what you want. So over the next 6 months, with this card here, it seems like certain things that are holding you back will be falling away. So any kind of resistance that you've come up against, that will be fading away and you will have freedom of movement again. And if you've been trying to heal from a situation, I'm seeing like there's healing, like things are getting easier for you. All right, what else? So we have the twins, conscious connection, and this is number 6. So this card corresponds to the Lover's card. So very interesting what you have going on here. So you have the Death card, you have the Lover's card. So something is coming to an end for you. So this could be anything coming to an end, anything that was holding you back. So it could be bittersweet, but it could also be restrictions that were holding you back. And then you feel this great sense of relief because then you can pursue exactly what you want to pursue. Some of you needed to take a time out so that you could figure things out, so that you could figure out what you want, where you want to be 6 months from now, okay? And it took some time for you to figure that out. The other thing I'm seeing here with number 6, and then we're literally looking at the next 6 months, and this is the Lover's card in the tarot deck. You're in a much better place in 6 months. So it depends on where you are in your journey. Some of you are already in this hibernation period, and you're going to be transitioning from that into a place where you feel like you can breathe easier. You feel like you are where you're supposed to be. And some of you are going to be going through this whole entire process over the next 6 months. It just depends on where you are in your journey. But there's a feeling of like enlightenment. There's a feeling of coming into more balance and kind of expelling any excess energy that does not belong on your journey going forward. Does that make sense? So that could be people, places, and things. That could be thoughts. It could be restrictions. It could be, anything that was preventing your movement forward. Now let's look at your tarot cards. What else would you like to say to pile number 2, please? We're looking at the next 6 months for pile number 2. The 2 of Cups. See, I love where this is going. So you have the Lovers and then you have the 2 of Cups here. So you're in a much better place. So for some of you, maybe this is a relationship. Maybe you were not in a good place with a relationship. Maybe you took some time apart and now you're coming back together. Others of you may have been, and this is just one possibility. I have other possibilities, but the 2 of Cups and Lovers made me think that this might be a relationship situation for some of you, okay? Some of you may have gotten out of a relationship and you took some time to get closure on that. And now you're coming back out into the world. You're feeling more confident and you're going to pursue things in your life that have meaning to you, So maybe you put your own life on hold for this other person, that came to an end, and now you're focusing on yourself again. Others of you could be finding a new relationship, a healthy, happy, positive relationship. And not that the old one was bad, but I'm just saying that if this is a relationship, what you're focusing on here, I see it being very positive for you. So others of you could be finding a new job, could be stepping into a new career, could be moving somewhere new, could be focusing on yourself and, really starting to find balance in all areas of your life. So it just depends on what your particular situation is here. But what I can tell you, what Spirit is telling me, is that your dedication to whatever this is that you have going on in your life is going to take you far. With this persistent drive here, you're going to get to where you want to be. No doubt about it. Then we have the Page of Wands. Yeah, see, something's calling you. Something is pulling at your heartstrings. There's some kind of new idea that you have, new path you want to walk on. And it seems to be like you have this great sense of independence, kind of saying like, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to do what makes me happy. I'm going to pursue this for myself. And you're going for it. You're making it work. And other people might not understand it, but you know what? That's not really your problem here, you know, because you're more focused on what you need and what you want and making that happen. So I feel that, you know, it just seems like there's this period of introspection where you're thinking about things and, you're overcoming obstacles, resistance, anything like that. And you have this great sense of passion about where you're going from this point. Wow. You're making like leaps and bounds. Because look here, you have the Page of Wands and then you jump over to the King of Wands. So not only are you getting your power back, but it's like your power is growing and growing and growing. I feel like there's a huge transformation happening for you. For some of you, you have this great idea with the Page of Wands and the Two of Cups. And over this next 6 months, you're pursuing this idea that is something that you hold in your heart, something that's very important to you. And over this next 6 months, you're going from the idea and how to implement the idea to solving any restrictions or problems that may happen with this idea. And you're actually accomplishing, at the very least, part of this idea or goal that you have, if not the whole entire goal over the next 6 months. Yeah, this is very powerful, what you have going on here so far with your tarot cards. Oh my gosh, you have the Death card, but not just the Death card, it's literally below the Death card with this Oracle deck right here. I need to think about this for a second. Wow, so first of all, you have the butterfly here. There's huge, huge, huge transformation. There's like a huge shakeup, something happening. There's a huge shift in your life. It's kind of like you were awakened to something going on in your life that was somehow restricting you. See, I keep coming back to that word restriction. It's where you were almost like waiting. So it was either you were literally being restricted from movement or you were waiting for something to happen. So like either you were feeling restricted and weighed down by a job, by a relationship, by where you were living, or by maybe self-doubts or something like that. Or you were trying to get this idea off the ground or trying to pursue a goal that you have. And for one reason or another, you kept coming upon delay after delay after delay. And what's happening here is huge transformation with these two Death cards. And I feel like through these delays or through these restrictions that you are going through, it feels like those delays or those restrictions were placed there almost for you to become enlightened or to get more information or to become more educated on something, because that enlightenment, that education is part of your transformation. So it seems like there could be dual transformations going on here, where you could be going through a major life change, but you're also, so with that, that would be like something changing, something tangible changing in your life. So relationship, job, where you live, you know, something like that. But you're also going through this huge transformation with how you see the world, how you see yourself, how you see other people, how you see your future, things like that. The Seven of Swords. Some of you are getting over a fear. Some of you are leaving a situation that you feel was a waste of time. Some of you are... Some of you feel like you got out of a situation by the skin of your teeth. Like you barely escaped danger. You barely got out of something that could have been disastrous. Others of you are letting go of restrictions that you placed on yourself because you thought you couldn't do it. You thought you couldn't accomplish it. So there's a sense of, no matter what your situation, there's a sense of confidence coming out of wherever you were. Like, wow, I made it through that. I can make it through anything. Or I, you know, was able to get through those delays, and now I'm seeing success. My patience, my persistence paid off. The other thing I'm hearing here with the Seven of Swords is that it's important that you listen to your intuition. If something feels off, it's off. And for some of you, you're in a situation that is going to come to an end, regardless of whether you decide to remove yourself from it or if the universe removes you from it. Spirit is saying that you're going to be okay. Remember I said with the Bear card, you're protected. So you're going to be okay. You're going to get through this transition. For those of you who are worried, like, well, I need to get out of the situation, but I don't know what's going to happen once I leave. So it could be a job, a relationship, where you're living, you know, anything. Spirit says you're protected. You're going to be okay. There is transformation. And whatever this is here with the Seven of Swords, it's going to be a thing of the past. You won't have to worry about it anymore. And it's not going to affect you going forward. And the other thing Spirit is saying here is that you're not losing anything. Okay. If you're taking a time out from a situation or removing yourself from a situation, or the universe does it for you, Spirit is saying that that is the sacrifice that needed to be made in order for you to kind of level up your energy, in order for you to heal physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever. And that situation was not meant for you any longer. And it's the same thing for if you were feeling restricted or had delays and you were really, really worried about how things are going to turn out, that restriction was not meant for you any longer. See? Things are turning around for you here. All right. Yeah, see? We have the Empress card. And look at all of these beautiful butterflies. Look at the little baby chicks here. It's beautiful. See, there was some kind of delay. The Empress card to me can sometimes mean like a delay, like things aren't fully developed yet. It's not time for things to come about yet. Oh my gosh, I'm just noticing you have the 3 here and you have the 3 here. So number 3 could have significance to you. Number 33 could have significance to you. Maybe you're seeing the number 3 or 33 or 333. Yeah, so just look out for that. And And also you have 13 and 13, so that's very interesting. Okay, back to what I was saying. So especially you have the Empress, you have number 3 here, and then you have the Bear card. So whatever was taking a long time to get going, it's going to happen for you. Delays are over, restrictions are over, thinking things through, trying to find the answers, trying to figure things out. That's all coming to an end. You're getting information, you're getting enlightenment, and you're moving beyond that. And there's actually some kind of movement, some kind of growth, some kind of reaching some kind of goal for sure. And you know, whatever that goal is could be a little baby step for some of you, and for others of you it could be something really, really huge. But for all of you, it's very, very, very meaningful. Okay. The Fool card. Wow, how exciting is that? See, this is what I'm talking about here. Restrictions, delays, waiting periods, anything like that, it's coming to an end. You're getting your movement back. It's time. It's also time for you, if you've been waiting for the right time to take action with something over this next 6 months, really tune into your intuition, because over the next 6 months, it is going to be the time for you to launch something, for you to make a move. It could be a literal move or a figurative move. It's time for you to take a chance on something. It's time for you to throw caution to the wind to a certain extent and say, you know what? I am going after my dreams with the 2 of Cups right above the Fool card. I'm going after something that I've always wanted to do. I'm going to make it happen. And you will make it happen. You have the Page of Wands and the King of Wands. So there's like this huge leap with whatever it is that you have on your mind here. The Queen of Pentacles, there's huge success waiting for you. There's a lot of abundance coming in for you. So you're no longer restricted. You're feeling like you can move around and do what you want, which can be literal or metaphorical, sorry. You're gaining strength with some kind of plan that you have, and you're putting that plan into action. There's abundance coming in all areas. So mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, there's abundance with your ideas. There's abundance with finances. There's abundance with your ideas growing and taking shape. Your intuition, there's abundance there. You're feeling better. You're feeling lighter. You're feeling like this new start that you have was worth it. And I feel like there's also, throughout this next 6 months, after the initial introspection, there's another point of introspection and understanding about why something maybe came to an end, or getting closure on, if you moved away from something, you're getting that complete closure on something. But yeah, if you have any fear about what's going to happen with my finances as I go forward in these next 6 months, slowly but surely the finances are going to start to get better for you. And then you're going to start to feel very comfortable in knowing that the finances are coming in and you don't have to worry anymore. Everything's going to be okay. The King of Cups, look at this, right below the King of Wands. Okay, whatever was on hold, like I've said before in this reading, it's no longer on hold. Thoughts that were put on ice, plans that were put on ice, they're thawing out now. And you have a clear vision. You're taking steps toward this vision. You're feeling much, 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 much more balanced, okay? In all areas of your life, you're feeling like you can actually see whatever you have passion for, whatever your vision is, there's transformation and you're seeing it. You're seeing things take shape in your life, okay? And this worry that you had for some of you, this feeling of restriction that some of you had, that is gone, okay? It's not there anymore, and you're feeling very productive. And you're feeling like, really, this is what I was saying with the Queen of Pentacles, you're feeling like you have a good grasp on what happened, whatever restriction you had here, anything that fell apart here. You're getting a good understanding and a good grasp on whatever that was. You're getting closure, you're moving on, you're feeling better. And yeah, I just heard, and that's that. So it's kind of like closing a chapter and moving on to something better. Yeah, see, here we have the Hangman here. So this is what I've been talking about, where with the Bear card, there was some kind of delay, restriction, stagnation, something like that, depending on your particular situation. This is a general reading, right? So, but that general kind of feeling of waiting for something, wanting something, and also with the Hangman, right? Oh, wow. And it just really kind of came to me here how the Hangman is lined up with the Death cards here, which is truly really driving in that point of moving on from something that was holding you back, or a delay or restriction, something like that, but also getting an understanding of why things happened, or getting an understanding of who you are and where you want to go forward. And this is also really drilling in the point that you're on the brink of transformation over these next 6 months. Keep that in mind as you go forward. The Temperance card, I love this for you. So there's balance, especially, you know, especially, look, okay. You have the Hangman, which is number 12, right? Where you're on the brink of some sort of transformation. And then you have the 2 Death cards here. And then what happens after that? So you have 12, 13, 14. 14 is Temperance. You have great balance, great renewal, healing, insight, understanding, closure, all of these things. You have confidence, you have strength, you have power, resilience. Do you see here? Let me see if you can see that. You see these lines here? It's like everything's making sense. You have whatever you had to figure out, whatever you were contemplating, whatever was going on there, it all makes sense. Everything is healed. You feel better. Everything is coming into balance. Anything that was holding you back has been removed. You're renewed. And you're like, you know, there's a sense here with this Temperance card where you're like, look at me, look at how far I've come. And some of you may be saying that to other people, and some of you are saying that to yourself, saying, you know, I believed in myself when no one else did, or I believed in myself and so did other people, and look at me now, look at how far I've come, especially when we look at the 7 of Swords here right above the Temperance card. So whatever was causing this 7 of Swords here, so it could be your fears. It could be that at first you didn't really believe in yourself. It could be that other people were placing restrictions on you. You know, whatever it is with the 7 of Swords here, it's like quite the opposite with the Temperance card. You don't have restrictions. You have confidence. You have, you know, balance and on all of these things. So just know that if you're going through a difficult time over these next 6 months, things are going to change for you. Wow. So you have the Judgment card. And look at this person here, or well, it's part human, part raccoon, but this figure here is like, finally, I'm finally where I want to be. And the reason how you got there is because something was kind of like flashing at you. Something was saying, hey, it's time for a change. Or, hey, this is the direction you should be going in. Or something like that. There's this massive sense of renewal. Because your 2 death cards and then the judgment card, the Fool card, I mean, it is like you are, and even the Hangman, Temperance, it's like you're closing a book, like closing a series of books, maybe, you know, book 1, 2, and 3. You're closing that, you're putting it on the shelf, and you're starting a whole new different book. You're starting a whole new life, a whole new situation, which can be something really, really like big, like maybe you moved somewhere new, maybe you changed your career, maybe you got a new job, or it could be for some of you this really, really huge growth process in the way that you think. And that is like a springboard for you to start this new life for yourself. Whatever it is, it's very, very powerful what's happening for you over this next 6 months. And just have patience with yourself, have patience with the process. I know it can be frustrating, you know, if you have delays or if you're trying to figure things out with this Bear card, but you have some amazing cards here showing excuse me, showing renewal, growth, balance, health, all of these things. So I wish you so much luck going forward. And if you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, pile number 3. You have the Confetti Sunstone, and your card is Beaver. The energy that I get for you over the next 6 months is a lot of discipline, perseverance, being very excited and focused on building something. I'm kind of picking up like the Emperor energy here with this card, where I feel like you put a lot of energy into something, a lot of focus, a lot of research, a lot of planning, and you're implementing those plans. Your goals are becoming actualized. You're doing things your way. I feel you're also working through any problems that you may have, like trying to figure things out, like figuring out like how to structure something or how to put something together, or where all the pieces fit together in a vision that you have, or a plan that you have, a goal that you have, something like that. And it seems like you're quite fearless as you pursue this goal or this movement forward. I also feel like certain things that you're doing could be a little bit unconventional, or because that's why I said, like, it seems like you're doing things your way. So you might be doing things like you might be accomplishing something that other people have accomplished, but you're doing it a little bit differently, or you're just saying like, well, I don't care what people think. I'm going to do it my way and I'm going to make it happen. And then you do. And then actually, you know, it works out for you very, very well. So it could be, there's something about, like when I mentioned like working through problems, you might have solutions to problems that are different than other people or the way things have been done in the past, but it actually works out so well for you that it's almost like it couldn't have worked out any other way for you. It had to be that particular way. However that makes sense. Okay, and I feel there's something about you building something for your future also, something that's going to take you into like this next phase of your life somehow, where you're feeling comfort, you're feeling safe from it. So maybe some of you could literally be building a home. Some of you could be building a new career. Some of you could be making changes in your life that are going to last, you know, a lifetime for you. But yeah, I feel that this is something that you're very much emotionally connected to. You're very much invested in it, very excited about it, and you're doing things the right way. It may not be the way everyone else does it, but you're doing things the right way for yourself, okay? Let's look at your other cards. What else can you tell us for pile number 3? This one and this one. Ooh, I love this. Look at how bright this card is. Okay, number 39, back on task, which is interesting because the beaver is always on task creating something. Be sure you are using your time in the best possible manner. That makes sense because I feel that you are. You might consider reviewing your goals, your schedule, or a project you were working on. All could use some fine tuning. So interesting because this is what I'm seeing with the beaver card. I see you working on things, planning things, working through difficulties. Maybe some of you over the next 6 months will have a renewed interest in something. Maybe you'll have a new interest in something and you start pursuing it. Maybe some of you put something on the shelf and it's, you know, over this next 6 months, you pick it back up. Yeah, that's just very exciting. It seems like some of you could be working through a fear that you have. Maybe you had a fear of success or a fear of failure, and you're finally saying, you know what, who cares about all that? Let me just try it and see what happens. And some of you may have been feeling like you didn't know if something would work because it's being done in an unconventional way or something like that. And then you finally said, you know, who cares? Let me just do it anyway. It's going to work out for me. Then we have number 17, safe and surrounded by love. Keep your heart open and know you are being protected. Yes, there's definitely a sense of protection. Because remember I said something about like, I think I said, what did I say? Did I say comfort, safety, kind of building a future for yourself, something like that, but very protected because the beaver's building a home, right? Building a foundation, building a place of safety. And it's so important for you to know that you're safe and you're protected. Listen to what you know to be true. See? Listen to what you know to be true. Remember when I said you may be doing something that is not conventional. You may be doing something that's been done before, but you're doing it your own way. Other people may not understand what you're doing, but that's okay. They don't need to. They'll see the finished product and they'll say, oh, well, that was actually a good idea. Okay. So listen to what you know to be true and allow yourself to see and understand what is going on around you. That makes so much sense. So do your thing. Just do your thing. Listen to your intuition, follow your intuition, and you're going to make really big progress over these next 6 months as long as you stay in the beaver energy. Stay focused. Don't let distractions get to you. Keep that discipline. Don't give up if you need to rearrange things and figure things out. Yeah. So if you stay on task, you're going to be very successful over this next 6 months. Okay, what else would you like to say to pile number 3, please? This makes so much sense. So you have Father of Fire. So this is the King of Wands in the traditional tarot deck. And it says Passion Ignited. It's also number 26 here. This is what I'm talking about with this beaver card. I'm seeing you're taking action toward a goal that you have, toward a dream that you have. You're doing something that you're passionate about, something that you love, something that feeds your soul, something, and not just that, but you're creating something, you're transforming something in your life. This is like a whole new chapter of your life that you're starting, you're building something, you're seeing progress with something, you're feeling excited and energized, and what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like, almost not really, I mean, kind of like enlightenment in the sense of you found a passion, you found something that gives you life every day, something like that. So, this could be a new job, this could be a hobby, this could be some kind of project you're working on. It could be home improvement, it could be personal improvement, it could be, just whatever it is that you're building, that you're working on. You have so much passion behind this. And it's really creating transformation in your life. And not just that, but transformation that you've wanted to see for some time. Now, I feel like you have patience. And this is coming up again so I got it with the Beaver card, and I'm getting it here with this Father of Fire card. There's a sense of definitely being able to work through any restrictions. Is it really restrictions? No, I don't think it's really restriction. It's like, how do I say this? Working through any problems, like needing to problem solve, needing to like not giving up. Like if this doesn't work, then trying option number 2. If option 2 doesn't work, looking at option number 3 and 4, and possibly number 5. And you know what I mean? So being very, having like ingenuity and seeing like, okay, well, what does work here? What looks good here? What sounds good here? That kind of thing. So kind of like, oh, that's what it is. It's like fine tuning the process. And if you come upon things that don't really fit, then having the ingenuity to say, okay, well, this or that could work. And being creative and having this fire to keep going if you need to change things and tweak things a little bit. It's almost like for some of you, you might enjoy that kind of challenge, okay? And it just kind of like gives you that energy. Okay, so here you have Father God. And what I'm seeing so it's radical truth. It's also number 44. Now, I feel that, again, that there's a sense of authenticity here, which is what I was saying, doing things your way. It doesn't matter if it's been done that way before. It doesn't mean it won't work. And if it's not for other people, that doesn't mean it's not for you. So definitely being authentic, doing things the way that you see fit. Okay, what is your vision, and doing things that way. For some of you, it's like picking up and moving into a whole new world, like moving across country or something like that. And other people may be like, well, what are you doing? You have a career here and you're just going to pick up and go. And you're like, well, yeah, I am actually. And so it's like you're doing things the way that you need to do them for yourself. Okay. And I feel that, again, you're finding throughout the 6 months, you're finding a home somewhere. So that can be literal for some of you, finding a new home, or it could be more metaphorical, like you're finding your community, you're finding your soul tribe, you're finding your perfect job or career, or things like that. It's like by the end of the 6 months, you're going to feel like, this is exactly where I envisioned myself in 6 months. All right, let's look at your tarot cards. What else would you like to say to pile number 3? We're looking at the next 6 months. Okay. Ooh, these cards are stuck. Okay. The Emperor. Isn't this what I said in the very beginning with the Beaver card? How I feel like you have kind of like Emperor energy. At least I think I said that. Because I'm pretty sure I said that, right? Because there's a sense of building something, of planning something, like I have this vision and I'm going to make it happen, but how am I going to make it happen? So I feel like over 6 months, there's a period of planning, decision-making, putting things into action, trying one thing. If that doesn't work, trying something else, not giving up, being very forceful in a positive way, forceful as far as, making things happen, making things work. And, but enjoying the whole process, enjoying this process. And also enjoying the transformation that's taking place as you're moving forward. Yeah, see, the Two of Wands, this makes so much sense, especially as, you know, it's with the Emperor card here, because I'm feeling like there's decisions that you need to make over the next 6 months. There's decisions that you will be making. And that's what I'm talking about, this planning process, researching things, figuring out what best suits me going forward. What, like metaphorically speaking, what materials do I need to accomplish my goals? What direction do I need to go to accomplish my goals? Where do I see myself in 6 months? And then creating a plan so that 6 months from now, you're exactly where you said you would be. Oh, I love this. You have the Ace of Cups. Okay, so another, did I say this or did this come up earlier? I don't know. Was it, let me see. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, it doesn't matter if you'll remember it, because I get so involved in this that I can't remember certain things. But like, because I'm not sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But okay, so what I'm seeing here is protection. You're very, very protected with these ideas as you go forward. Okay. And I feel for some of you, you could have a flash of insight or a flash of reignition of something from the past. Because remember here back on task where I said some of you may have put something on the shelf for a while. And then, oh, it was safety. I did have safety because you have safe right here. Okay, so I wasn't crazy. I did remember that. Okay, so you may have put something on the shelf for a while, and now you're getting back on task. You're pulling something back into your life. You're saying, you know what? I put this on hold for a little while, but now I'm back. And so for some of you, you're having some kind of like flash of insight or flash of inspiration. Others of you with this Ace of Cups, this is just representing you building this new thing. I mean, you see these cards here, you building something, you going forward with something, making decisions about a goal that you have, a place that you want to be 6 months from now. And whatever it is, there's great emotion attached to this. It's something that you're very passionate about and something that is very meaningful to you. The Two of Cups, like I said, something that you're very passionate about, something that's very meaningful to you, and everything starts to come together. Everything starts to line up. You start to see people, places, and things falling into line, falling into place. You're really, really listening to your intuition. That's the other thing. You're listening to your intuition as you go forward, and you are not resisting change, okay, as you go forward. This is like, and also you're not resisting change, but there is no resistance in your change. The only time that you might feel resistance as you go forward during the 6 months is if something isn't quite in alignment. Remember when I said that you might need to switch things up or change materials, metaphorically speaking, or, you know, if this doesn't work, then try that. That's the only time that you might experience a delay, is if something isn't in complete alignment with your path forward. So everything should be smooth sailing unless something needs to be changed just a little bit, okay? Now, the thing that's important here that Spirit wants me to tell you is that if you come upon something that's not working, or you come upon a delay, if you try to force something into place that is not going to fit into the scenario or into the situation, that can further delay things. So Spirit says, don't be afraid to, you know, if something doesn't feel right, or if something isn't moving, if something feels like, you know, something feels a little bit off about this, don't be afraid to set it to the side and try something different, okay? The Lovers card. Wow, you have the Two of Cups and then the Lovers card. That is amazing. You're definitely pursuing a goal. You're pursuing a passion. You're pursuing a new life, something like that. Something pretty significant is going on for you. Especially you have, the Lovers card with the passion here, and then you have Father of Fire with passion ignited. So I feel over the next 6 months, absolutely, you are taking steps toward a goal. You're going from the planning phase, from the development phase into I'm taking action, I'm taking steps, I'm building something. And it's something you have so much passion for, something that's in your heart, something that it's like your baby. It's like your, for some of you, this could be you're starting your own business. Like literally, some of you are literally building a new home. Yeah, it's quite amazing, whatever it is. There's so much determination and strength and positive outcome that I feel with whatever is going on here for you. So it's going to be a very exciting time for you. It's going to be a lot of hard work. But it's so rewarding. So rewarding. And then we have the Tower card. This is what I was talking about. Okay. Actually, there's a couple things here with the Tower card. The first thing, what I was just talking about, is that the only time you will come upon restrictions and delays is if there is a piece of your plan that is not supposed to be there. That's when you would come up with delays. Otherwise, it would be smooth sailing. I mean, not that you wouldn't have a day or two here and there where you have difficulties and you don't get everything done that you wanted to get done. I'm talking major things here, okay? Major delays. Again, with the Tower card, don't be afraid to try something different if one thing doesn't work. Don't get frustrated and give up if one thing doesn't work. There's going to be another option that comes in like right after that, okay? So don't get distracted by outside influences, by outside voices, things like that, okay? The other thing that I'm seeing with the Tower card, for some of you, over the next 6 months, or even right before the next 6 months, so you may have already felt something like the Tower card happen, where there was a shift in your life where something came to an end. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, maybe you have to move somewhere. Something like that could have happened or might happen as you move forward during these next 6 months. Now, as scary as it might seem, it's actually getting you to exactly where you need to be, okay? Because this Tower moment could be sparking the Emperor in you, okay? And it could be putting you back on task, getting you exactly where you need to go. And if this happens, you're safe. You're surrounded by love. It's igniting your passion for something. And it's the radical truth. Isn't that interesting? The Tower card and the radical truth. It could be like awakening something in you, awakening your authentic self, okay? And putting you in the right direction to be doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. This is a very, very powerful shift for you over this next 6 months. And not all of you are going to have this Tower card moment. The Tower card could, for some of you, just represent what I said. The only time you're going to have delays is if you're trying to force something that's not meant to work out with this plan that you have going forward. So the longer that you try to force something, the longer it's going to be delayed. So if something's not feeling right, if something's not working, don't be afraid to set it to the side and look at other options. The Knight of Swords, yes. So this is what I'm saying. With both of the scenarios and all of the scenarios that I just talked about with the Tower card. So if there's something that's not fitting in with your plan, this is the only thing that would delay you, is if you try to keep it and force it into place. That would delay you. Once you look at other options, you get this. You have the Knight of Swords, where it's smooth sailing, you're going forward very, very quickly, okay? One word of caution, don't go too quickly. Make sure that you're looking at everything so that you don't come upon delays in the future. Don't ignore something if you're trying to force something, because it could cause delays in the future. The other thing I'm seeing here is what I just said. For those of you that do go through a Tower moment, it's igniting your passion. It's igniting this. It's igniting a sense of fearlessness for you to make changes in your life, for you to make transformation, or for you to go through transformations in your life and come out so much better on the other side. Because look at what we have here. Your card here, back on task. Something is getting you back on task, whether it's the Tower card moment or it's just your sheer determination to go after this goal. So you have back on task, and you have the Emperor, and then you have nothing standing in your way with the Knight of Swords. So do you see what's happening here? I mean, I can feel the excitement. I can feel the power, and it's just like, whoo, it's a crazy ride, but it seems like so much fun, and it's really, really cool to see how this vision that you have, you're actually creating it. Like, it's actually happening before your eyes over this next 6 months. Yeah, see, the Three of Pentacles. This is huge movement with a goal that you have, an idea that you have. You're building something. And over the next 6 months, is it 100% complete? Have you reached the absolute end of your goal? Some of you may get there, but it seems like it's more of a longer process where it's something that you're going to have for the rest of your life. So it's something that it seems like you're always going to be evolving and building on and, working on and tweaking and things like that. But what's happening over the next 6 months, at the very least, is you're building a very, very strong foundation. You've made decisions, you've researched things, you've planned things, you've put those plans into action, and you're seeing results. Because what we first started with over here with the Emperor was just an idea. And then with the Two of Wands, you're making decisions. And then you start to implement those decisions with those plans. And look at here. And don't forget your Beaver card over here. So here, when you first started here, you didn't have this building yet, but now you do, metaphorically speaking. So you're still working on it, you're still perfecting it, but people are starting to notice what you're doing. The universe is noticing. You're getting, like, there's some sort of reciprocal action where you're putting your energy out into the universe, you're putting your heart and soul into this, and you're getting rewards coming in. Whether you're building a new career, building a new business, you moved somewhere completely new and you're meeting new people and you got a new job and you're doing great and you're building a new foundation there. Whatever it is, there's like tangible progress that you're making over the next 6 months. Yeah, the Page of Pentacles, see? This is what I'm saying. You had this idea, you had a vision, you had a hope, a goal, you went after it, and you're seeing something tangible. You're seeing something come out of this. So another thing I'm seeing here over the next 6 months, there seems like there could be phases in your development of whatever this is, where you reach a certain goal and then it's going into stage 2. And then during stage 2, some of you have to kind of go back to the beginning, not go back to the beginning, but start this process over, where now you're in stage 2. Now what? Now you say, okay, stage 2, let me research, let me develop plans, let me make decisions, and then let me go forward and implement those decisions. So for some of you, it's like lumps, or like, you know, this much and then this much and then this much in like phases, almost like a ruler, you know, going from 1 to 2 is a certain amount of time, and then 2 to 3 is a certain amount of time. So it's very, very interesting. The Five of Swords. Okay. With the Five of Swords, what's happening here is some of you, okay, were distracted by certain things and you're back on task, okay? Also, I feel some of you, this has to do with what I was talking about with the Tower, where some of you may be trying to force something to happen with certain people, places, or things regarding this idea that you have going forward. And you may have had this idea like, no, it has to be this way, or it's just not going to happen, or it has to be this way and no other way. That's going to cause delays and restrictions. Okay. So what I'm seeing though is that you're overcoming any restrictions like that. Okay. In that scenario, anything that may have happened with the Tower card, where maybe the Tower card sparked this whole thing about getting you back on task, okay, which then sparked the Emperor and this whole idea that you have. What I'm seeing happening is that you're walking away from something that was not meant for your future. It just did not and does not belong with where you're going. Like, I feel like you're up leveling your energy, and whatever energy the Tower had is not up leveling. So it's like the only thing it would do if it stayed in your life would be, it would hold you back, and it would prevent you from moving forward and from achieving this goal that you have. And so I see you realizing that at some point over this next 6 months, saying, yeah, I'm glad that ended. Even though it was a little bit painful, it was a little bit scary, it had to come to an end so that it could kind of catapult me into this new phase of my life here. Then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so there's a lot of movement forward there. You know, like I said, you're implementing your plans, you're putting them into action, you're planting the seeds. So first of all, you're going from the Page of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles. So it's like I told you, you're making progress. The other thing is, look here, it looks like the Knight has planted something, has put in all this hard work here, and has harvested this pentacle. You know, so like I said, you're seeing tangible results from the actions that you're taking, from the hard work that you're putting into something. And then it's like, once you start to see these results, it's kind of like you're going into phase 2, or you're like putting like more fire or more fuel in the fire or something like that, and like increasing things or something like that. So things are increasing, you're going into the next phase, something like that is happening here. And you're also, once you start to see the results, because we're seeing it here at the Three of Pentacles, we're seeing it in the Knight of Pentacles, that itself is igniting you to keep going and to focus on, oh, what is the next phase? What is the next step? This is so exciting. I can't wait to see more come to fruition, things like that. Oh, I love this for you. So you have the Eight of Pentacles. This is really a continuation of what I've just said with the Three of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. But look at the progress. Look at this. So let me just take this card out, and the Eight of Pentacles. So remember with the Three of Pentacles, I was talking about how you had this plan, you researched, analyzed, made decisions, and you took actions, and this is your result, because in the beginning you didn't have this building. So people are noticing you, people are being very receptive to this idea that you had, to how it's taking shape. You're perfecting your skills, perfecting your talents, you know, you're feeling more confident. And then what do you have? the Eight of Pentacles. So you go from the Three of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. This is amazing. You're doing something that you love. You're pursuing something. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Your skills are getting better. Your concentration is getting better. Your determination is even higher. You're just reaching higher and higher and higher, and you're hitting goal after goal after goal. So if you, let's say for instance, because you do have a lot of pentacles, okay? So let's say if you, just for instance, if you're starting a new job or you're starting a new career, you're getting noticed with that new employer, or you're getting noticed in that new career. If you have your own business, you're getting, repeat customers, repeat clients. There's word of mouth. You're building something. You're building something that's very, very strong and that's growing a lot. But remember, like I said, it keeps growing. You always have like the next goal, the next level to look forward to. But over this next 6 months, there is tremendous progress. As long as you keep an eye out for things that are not meant to go forward on this journey with you. And also, don't be afraid to try something different. If one thing doesn't fit, don't be afraid to try something else. Otherwise, it could delay you. Okay, so this is really the only thing that you really need to worry about here. And that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helped you. I wish you so much luck going forward. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching.